fans, there's a new way to follow
It's homecoming today at Elmhurst Field as the Elmhurst College Blue Jays are set to host the Carroll University Pioneers today in another CCIW matchup for the first time in some time as Carroll rejoins the conference this year. Luke Tanaka with you. Glad to have you alongside. The Blue Jays have won the toss, and they will receive today on what is homecoming Saturday. Part of a triple header today. We'll have football first, and then 2 soccer games to follow as well. It's going to be a busy day here at Elmhurst Field. Sure to be a heck of a game and a heck of a day here for homecoming at Elmhurst College. Stands are packed. The parking lot, Alexander parking lot, you can see it in the distance, packed with tents. Atmosphere is all ready for football here at Elmhurst Field.
Glenn's kick in the air.
Kick is in the air. We are underway as Gaines will take it.
Gaines on the return.
And there he goes. He breaks a tackle and then skips past a couple more all the way down to the 35. And a good start for the Blue Jays right out of the gates. Jawan Gaines with the return. Nice sidestep of a tackle there, and then eventually brought down from behind by Andy Thorson, the defensive back and a sophomore. So the Blue Jays behind their starting quarterback, Orlando Hernandez, will take the field. Hernandez on the season, a 50% completion percentage, 782 yards, 9 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Also a runner, definitely a dual threat quarterback, no secret about that in the conference. He starts with 2 backs and sides for play action, looking deep down the field, wide open. Corey Portenheimer makes the catch. Portenheimer with a 10. Touchdown, Blue Jays. First play from scrimmage. 6. On to attempt the point after. Snap good, hold good, kick up, and it is through. 17 seconds into homecoming. Blue Jays with a 7-0 lead. Perfect start to the Blue Jays homecoming here at Elmhurst Field. A 65-yard touchdown from Orlando Hernandez to Corey Portenheimer. And that was an absolute strike right on the money to Portenheimer in stride, who got a step on his defender and took it all the way to the end zone. First play from scrimmage, 17 seconds into the game. Elmhurst 7, Carroll 0. Parker Zitsky is back to receive this kick. Blake Bailey will send it. Excuse me, it's going to be the man who caught the touchdown. It's Portenheimer who's going to kick it away here. Not only does he score the touchdown, now he's set to send this ball away. End over end kick, short towards the far side and angling out of bounds. A little bit of a shank there from Portenheimer will result in the penalty and good field position for Carroll on their first chance of offense.
Carroll to start first and 10 at their 35-yard line.
Same field position for the Pioneers on their first chance of offense behind quarterback Kyle Burlingame, 5'10", 195-pound junior from Waukesha, local guy. Bennett Koth motions into the backfield. And it's going to be caught to the left. Not a whole lot there. This Elmhurst defense has been very good this season. The gain is going to come, a gain of 2 to the 37. It'll be 2nd and 8 coming up for Carroll in the white with the orange helmets today, rejoining the College Conference of Illinois and Wisconsin for the first time since 1991. First time they've played the Blue Jays since then as well. Burlingame sets up in the pistol for 2nd and 8. This time it's an option. He keeps it, and he throws wide open beyond the defense. Tyler Enright goes all the way to the end zone for a touchdown as the option play brought the defense in. Enright down the sideline was wide open behind the defense, and just like that, with pending the extra point, will be all tied up. One minute into the game, both teams have scored on long touchdown passes. That one goes for 63 yards. It's the longest play that Carroll has had all season long. Burlingame to Tyler Enright, who had a total of 18 yards on the season coming into the game. Pine for the extra point. Kick is up, and it is good, and we're all tied up 1 minute in. Jubilation on both sides as both teams score right off the bat here today, and now the Elmhurst offense will have a chance to come back out on the field again right away, and that option play pulled the Elmhurst defense in, and then behind the defense, Tyler Enright makes the catch, the senior from Oconomowoc. And that was a well-drawn-up play there by the Carroll coaching staff, probably knowing that you're going to try to run the football. That time they pulls it out from the running back, and then the receiver goes out. It's kind of almost a triple option type play, and he's ended up throwing it over the defense and right to Enright, who is way behind everybody. And he ran it all the way into the end zone for a 63-yard touchdown. So we have a 65-yard touchdown pass, 63-yard touchdown pass, and oh, by the way, we're only 61 seconds into today's game.
Glenn to kick it away for the Pioneers.
Here comes Plen's kick from left to right, and Gaines is going to take this one again from the 1. Gaines, stuffed right at the 20-yard line. Good-looking form tackle there right around the legs. That was number 24, Jacob Unger, the defensive back. And a nice tackle right in the middle of the field. Check this out. You see 24 Unger shed his block and then, just drive right into Gaines. Right at the hips. Return of 20 goes to the 21-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Blue Jays there. And Hernandez and the Elmhurst offense back out on the field. They average 20 points per game. 5'10", 185-pound sophomore from Peoria takes the snap, hands off Connor Brewer right side. And he gets hit at about the 25, spins his way to the 26 for a gain of 5. It'll be 2nd down and 5 coming up as Connor Brewer gets the handoff from the backfield. The senior from Hazlitt, Michigan, who has not only done okay in the rushing game, averaging 4.7 yards per carry, but he's also been great in the receiving game. 5 receiving touchdowns, 15 catches for 167 yards for Brewer as he once again lines up in the backfield. One of the key losses for the Blue Jays, or at least that we have been told, is Jim Robley, who I believe is out for this game, the running back who had such a great day against North Park. Another long ball, and this one's caught just before midfield. For the Blue Jays, Justin Ward, the junior from Burr Ridge, makes the catch.
That was Austin with the tackle for Carroll. 1st down for the Blue Jays.
And now Austin, the corner, makes the tackle. 1st down for the Blue Jays, and they'll set up just in front of midfield. On the offensive line, the starters for the Blue Jays, Pat Walsh, left tackle, Sam Rathbun, left guard. Center, Garrett Underwood. Billy Schaefer moves from right tackle to right guard, and then Zach Dixon is the starter at right tackle now as Hernandez on the option, sidesteps a tackle, sidesteps another, down to the 30, down the sideline to the 20, to the 10, inside the 10, he's brought down big play for Hernandez on the option. Reads it very well, and here you see him sidestep some move there and then just jet up the sideline, and that's what Orlando Hernandez does in the rushing game. Long of 41 on the season until now. Down at the 4-yard line. Gain of 49 for Hernandez, a season high rushing. The Blue Jays in the red zone, 1st and goal. Hernandez with 2 backs this time. Takes the snap, looks to throw. Far side, Kalen Miller, and there's a penalty on the play. Lindsey Hudson was in coverage. Lots of contact on the far side between Miller and Hudson, and I'm going to guess is going to go against the defense here.
The NCAA does not allow artificial noisemakers at its athletic events. Number 6.
Pass interference on Hudson, number 6, the sophomore from Milwaukee, starting corner for Carroll, and that'll set up the Blue Jays with another 1st down, this time from the 2. Heavy set for the Blue Jays. 2 tight ends, 2 receivers, 1 back, and the handoff is to Brewer. He runs right into Hernandez, tries to go to the left, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown. Not exactly how you draw it up if you're Elmhurst, but Connor Brewer has his first rushing touchdown of the season. And Elmhurst has taken the lead again. Hernandez looking a little puzzled as he walks back to the sideline. Brewer ran right into him, but then stayed on his feet, went left, and was able to find a hole to get into the end zone for another score. 13-7 now the point after from Bailey. And a team that averages 21 points a game through just over 3 minutes has 13, make it 14 with the good extra point. The Elmhurst offense firing through the air and with his legs. Orlando Hernandez with 2 huge plays, one with the arm, the 65-yard touchdown, and the fight song will play again after his 49-yard rush set up the touchdown by Connor Brewer. Three minutes in, 14-7 Elmhurst, and let's take a look at some of the Elmhurst numbers. Actually, let's take a look at the schedule instead. I think that may be a little bit better as the Elmhurst offense put up 28 points. They really played well on defense in the game against Loris, coming back from 18 points down to win 28-27. Then the loss on the road to Olivet, but followed by the home opener on the 17th of September, an absolute thrashing of North Park, 42-10. Right here at Elmhurst Field. This is only their 2nd home game, the Blue Jays, this season. And then they went on the road for 2 more at Wheaton. Really a game that the coaching staff thought that they should have won. They lost to Wheaton 10-6. Really the difference in that one was the red zone offense. The Blue Jays, 2 field goals in the red zone. Elmhurst, a touchdown and a field goal. And then the win at Augie at their homecoming, 14-3, in which the defense was absolutely dominant. Taking on the far side. He lost the football, I think. He lost it for a second. I saw him looking down. It looks like Carroll ends up recovering. I thought originally Carroll may have lost the ball there. I saw him looking down. Maybe he just got hit really hard. And so it'll be Carroll to set up from the 26-yard line.
Pioneers are starting 1st and 10 at their 26-yard line.
1st and 10 from the 26. 11:46 to go and a 14-7 Elmhurst advantage. Left-handed throw near side, catch made. That one looked dangerous initially. It's Enright again who caught the 63-yard touchdown, and now there's a late flag.
Penalty flag on the play.
And probably some sort of unsportsmanlike or something call on, not sure who it would be on. I didn't see anything specifically. But I think it's going to go against the Blue Jays here, and that'll push the gain further. It's going to be on Perot Charles of the Blue Jays, the senior from Loma Linda, California, who's charged with the unsportsmanlike call. And so 15 more yards for Carroll sets them all the way up at the Elmhurst 42. Elmhurst defense has been so good all season long, but so far Carroll has moved the ball with ease. Just their fourth play from scrimmage right here. Looking to throw far side, complete again. Running back to the inside that time was number 20, Brandon Erkey.
Mike Karski with the catch for the Pioneers. Bolus with the tackle.
Tristan Bolus makes the stop.
Gain of 8 on the play.
2nd and 2 coming up. 2nd and a long 2 for Carroll. Kyle Burlingame takes the snap, hands off left. Ooh, nowhere to go there as it looked like Charles and Andy Warson, a couple of players in on the stop. Add in there Brian Tucker, the linebacker, as well. A swarm of Blue Jays to the football in the running game. Looks like a loss of 3 will set up 3rd and 5 for Carroll. This will be the first 3rd down of the game. Both offenses with big plays to start off their drives. Not only the first 2 times for the Blue Jays, also the first time for Carroll. 14-7, Elmhurst on top here as Burlingame takes the snap, looks left, long throw to the near sideline, a little deep, intended for Erkey, and it's incomplete. You see Burlingame's got an arm on him. He just overshoots Erkey by a little much, and let's see what Carroll wants to do here. Are they going to try to pin the Blue Jays deep, or are they going to... It looks like they're going to try to pin him deep. They're going to punt. Jack Cervantes, the freshman from Oak Forest, is the punter.
Cervantes to kick it away for the Pioneers.
No pressure. He pops one up into the air. No returner for the Blue Jays there. It bounces right at the 1-yard line. It'll be down. That was a great Carroll bounce there. A nice punt there by Cervantes to put it right inside the 1. Down by Casaro. Handoff straight up the middle, trying to get some running room. Surprising not to see Hernandez try to plunge ahead to give him a little extra, but the handoff in the end zone ends up coming out. All at a gain of about 1, maybe 1.5. Out to just past the 2. Skill players on offense for the Blue Jays. Number 2, Kalen Miller, 19 catches, 301 yards, and a touchdown, along with Corey Partenheimer, who caught the 65-yard touchdown to put Elmhurst up 7-0. Jawan Gaines also plays receiver. Number 83 for the Blue Jays. Austin McKellar, Matt Brockman along there as well. This one straight up the middle, nowhere to go. This is Holloway on the carry, and he is quickly brought down.
Holloway, the ball carrier for the Blue Jays.
Now Elmhurst 3rd down, deep in their own territory, and for Carroll, that decision to punt is looking very favorable right now. We'll see a lot of running backs split in for the Blue Jays. Daniel Burgo, one of them, the senior from Deerfield Beach. Also Ben Holloway, who just had that last carry, the sophomore from Galesburg, Illinois, and then also Connor Brewer, who took a couple of carries in the first drive. As Hernandez looks to throw out of his own end zone, in a little bit of trouble, dances forward, and will get up past the 10. Did he get the first down? I think he may have. Hernandez carries it to the 12, and an Elmhurst first down. Scramble for the sophomore quarterback, and that's just what Orlando Hernandez can do with his feet. Some very impressive movement there.
Finish was there on the tackle for the Pioneers.
And it'll be 1st and 10 for the Blue Jays at their own 12. So it seemed like a doomed offensive drive. Hernandez gains 9 on 3rd and 8, and Elmhurst has converted a 3rd down. Partenheimer split near side wide as this handoff goes up the middle. Brewer chugging for some extra yards, and maybe Connor Brewer could be the answer if Jim Robley cannot go. Brewer a little bit more physical of a rusher. And the other two backs for the Blue Jays, it's 6 foot, 190 pounds. And that really worked here at home against North Park. Robley, the straight ahead style.
Gain of 9 on the play.
9-yard gain for Brewer on the ground. Sets up 2nd and 1. Brewer with the 2nd touchdown for the Blue Jays on the ground. 14-7, Elmhurst on top. 7 minutes to go, first quarter. Hernandez with an empty backfield, 5 receivers. Looks to throw deep down the middle of the field. Has a man. It is almost intercepted. Thought McKellar was going to come back to the football, but instead Andy Thorson with a nice play to try to reach at its highest point, and he just missed a really nice interception. McKellar thought that ball was going to hit him in stride, but the wind is blowing from left to right on this beautiful day here at Langhorse Field, and the ball got hung up a little bit in the wind, and Thorson undercut the route. Really looked like he was going to be able to come away with that one. Just couldn't quite do it, but it's a breakup nonetheless for him. And now it's 3rd and 1 for the Blue Jays. Not a bad idea to take a shot on 2nd and 1 because you know you have a lot of options here on 3rd and 1. Hernandez hands off straight up the middle. Brewer has the first down. Falling forward towards the 30, stopped at the 28. First down for the Blue Jays. Connor Brewer straight ahead. We've seen him get most of the rushes today. Not totally surprising. The senior from Michigan has been starting and playing for the Blue Jays for some time now. One of the more experienced backs the Blue Jays have. Of course, it was hard to get experience when you had 7 years of Williams here at Elmhurst. First Scotty and then Josh. 1 year where they overlapped. Hernandez looking to throw, steps up into the pocket, delivers a wobbler that is just off the outstretched fingertips of Jawan Gaines on the far side. Let's see if that ball wasn't. Yes, it was indeed tipped by one of the defensive linemen. That was a nice play. Outstretched arm, able to at least tip the ball ever so slightly. I think it was 94 Molise who got a hand on the ball from Hernandez. And that made it come out a little wobbly, which forced the ball a little high for Gaines. And now it's 2nd and 10 for Elmhurst. 14-7 Blue Jays, 6:16 to play first quarter. Hernandez looks to run now, steps up into the pocket, sidesteps one tackle to the 35 towards the 40, takes a hit from a couple of Carroll Pioneers, but is up near the 39. And another Elmhurst first down, 11-yard gain for Hernandez. Nice sidestep of the tackle there. Dan Kolovich out of his shoes there, shook him a little bit, and linebacker unable to make the stop, so Hernandez into the secondary and a first down. Elmhurst 1st and 10 from their own 39. Eight on the play clock. Blue Jays just getting out of the huddle. They're going to have to hurry here. 4-3 on the play clock. Hernandez takes the snap with 1, hands off to the right side. It's Holloway, and he's still churning for some more yards past the 45, and then eventually driven back by 5 or 6 Pioneers as he just continued to hustle continue to churn those legs past the 45. Forward progress will give them the 47 and set up 2nd and 2 for the Blue Jays. An 8-yard gain for Holloway, the 5'9" sophomore from Galesburg, Illinois, who coming into the game averaged just 3.2 yards per carry. 20 carries, 63 yards for Holloway, although it's not easy to get touches in the Blue Jays backfield. Of course, you have Hernandez with the ability to run the football, but before Robley was out, you had Robley in there, you had Burgo, you had Connor Brewer, who's taken some, but to one in the backfield, as this one is ahead. A flag comes in on the back end as Holloway lunged ahead to midfield, but this one looks like it's in the area of offensive holding. The Blue Jays already backing themselves up. And we'll be holding on the Blue Jays, which will set them back and set up 2nd and 12 here. Blue Jays a little rushed on that play. Now Brewer will line up as a receiver on the near side. Now he'll motion. 3 receivers now on the far side as Hernandez takes a snap, looks that way, screen to the near side. Holloway sidesteps 1 tackle, breaks another to the 45 towards the 50, and he's going to be dropped down right at about the 49, right next to that first down marker. And let's see if they're going to, may have to measure here. It's going to be very close. I think they're going to make it 3rd and inches here. At least that's what I could tell from the far side official. No, it's going to be a face mask call on Carroll, and so that play isn't even going to matter. 15 more yards for the Blue Jays after the personal foul face mask. Our referee, Mike Cunningham, giving us the call. Umpire Jim McHugh, head linesman Pete Bobber, line judge Tim Lucas, side judge Jeremy Reed, field judge Tom Wedrick, back judge Samuel Banks today, our officiating crew. And now both teams have had 15-yard penalties that have really helped along the other offense. Elmhurst, a nice long drive here continuing. Hernandez looks to throw far side. Brockman diving catch made just past the 30. Nice catch by Matt Brockman, the 6'4", 215-pound sophomore from Elmhurst. He's listed as a wide receiver, but you can see by his size he looks like a tight end, and he caught a couple of touchdowns here against North Park. Nice big target for Hernandez to throw to, something that the Blue Jays not necessarily known for their size. It was nice to get a local sophomore in Brockman, who not only has very good hands, but also has a really large figure to be able to throw to, and big catching radius, I guess you could call it, too. 3 minutes to go first quarter. Blue Jays lead by 7. And that's Hernandez is going to be brought down in the backfield for a loss. Luke Everts back there on the stop. As you see, this play doomed from the beginning. 2 defensive ends back in as they brought a blitz. They brought Aaron Muschel from the weak side on a blitz. Officials timeout. It looks like Orlando Hernandez has to come out, so they're going to send out Zach Campbell.
Officials timeout on the field.
And if this is an equipment issue for Hernandez. So Campbell's going to come in for a snap. He's the 5'10", 185-pound senior from Muskegon, Michigan. We saw him run some Wildcat sets against North Park. Did not see him throw the ball in that game, but he's going to throw here. Look to the near side, diving catch. Did he make it? Yes, Brewer makes the catch. That's going to set up 3rd and short for the Blue Jays here, as Hernandez still working on his equipment issue, so it's Campbell for now. And they're going to go for it on 4th down here. 4th and a long one with Campbell. As the quarterback looks to throw, now runs straight ahead, wide open spaces, first down and more for Campbell past the 20 into the red zone for Elmhurst. And so they end up going for it on 4th down. Campbell with plenty of running room here to the left, as you see. A nice cutback there. Eventually brought down from behind by Ethan Molise. Campbell had not completed a pass all year, did on 3rd down to Brewer on the near side to set up 4th and short. Elmhurst opts to go for it instead of trying a long field goal attempt from Blake Bailey into the wind. And now another 1st and 10 as the drive stays alive. Hernandez back in at quarterback. Less than 90 seconds to play first quarter. Hernandez, lots of running room to the left with blockers, but nice job of shedding the block there. Solo tackle on the near side. And that was Muschall again. The nice tackle, able to shed his block. It looked like Hernandez was going to be able to cut that into the inside. And he had lots of green turf in front of him, but nice job by Muschall to shed the block and take him down. Under a minute to play, 14-7 Blue Jays here in the first quarter. Hernandez with Brewer to his right. 2 receivers right, 1 left, and a tight end. Hernandez looks to throw over the top. Bruckman, touchdown, Blue Jays. Matt Bruckman, the big target. Wide open over the middle for the Elmhurst touchdown. And the Blue Jays lead 20-7 here in the final seconds of the first quarter. That kind of reminded me of the play that Carroll ran for their 63-yard touchdown, with the fact that you have the play action in the backfield and you have the threat of the quarterback to run, which draws in the linebackers and then allows Brockman to be open over the middle. Hernandez with almost a little bit of a bunny hop on that throw. Sends it in for the Elmhurst touchdown. The point after is knocked through by Bailey, and with 30 seconds to go in the first quarter, the Blue Jays lead 21-7. That was a 99-yard drive for Elmhurst. And it all started with Orlando Hernandez's legs on 3rd and 8 from their own 3. Hernandez gained 9 yards for a first down, and that gave the Blue Jays some breathing room. Then later a 4th down conversion, but a couple of 3rd down conversions there for Elmhurst on that drive set up the touchdown. And the Blue Jays now lead 21-7 against Carroll here at home on homecoming. Hope that a lot of alumni here on campus are having a great time. We know the fans here in the stands clapping along to the fight song are having a pretty good time here in the first quarter, but your alumni joining us here on the broadcast. So glad to have you alongside for this homecoming game between the Blue Jays and the Pioneers. Homecoming always such a great weekend here at Elmhurst. The Alexander parking lot, by the time I got here, said the lot was full. No chance to get in there for any tailgating. People starting very early here on campus, and it's one of the couple times a year where you drive up to campus and you just see that Alexander parking lot filled to capacity and then some. Bartenheimer's line drive kick is picked up by Zitsky. Parker Zitsky to the left, trying to cut back to the middle of the field, brought down at the 30. And some extracurriculars here at the end behind the play. I don't see any laundry on the field. So it'll just be a return for Zitsky. And Carroll will start 1st and 10 from their own 30-yard line. On offense for the Carroll University Pioneers, you have Kyle Burlingame, the quarterback, Bennett Koth, the starting running back, Ryan Fry starting at fullback for Carroll, Brandon Erkey, and Austin Piekarski, both wide receivers for Carroll, and the tight end Mitchell Langenhall. And there's Langenhall motioning to the near side while Koth comes back to the backfield. Lots of motion from Carroll as they set up a screen to the far side. Koth with some running room. And the tackle eventually made on the far side. Tyler Hassman after a gain of more than 5 on the far side. And that's where they motioned pretty much everybody to the near side and then opened up the far side for Koth on the screen play. And that'll wrap up the first quarter here in Elmhurst. A very good first quarter for the Blue Jays. Lots of big plays. The biggest plays of the season for both teams on the first drive of the year, or first drive of the game. And that'll set us up 21-7 Blue Jays on top as we head to the second quarter here on Blue Jay TV. Back for the start of the second quarter here on Blue Jay TV as Burlingame runs to the near side on a design quarterback keeper. He's brought down by Ross Beck in the middle of the field. 6th tackle of the season for Beck. He's got a tackle and a half for loss. As we run through the Elmhurst starters on defense, along the defensive line, Miles Carroll and Mike Weaver are the two defensive ends, number 6 and number 52, respectively. Then you have Eddie Byer, the nose guard, starting for Elmhurst. At the cornerback position, we have Tristan Bolus and Tyler Hassman, number 31, number 9, as Burlingame sets up in the pistol for Carroll. Takes the snap, hands off to Koth, right up the middle, lowers his shoulder. Brought down by a slew of Blue Jays. I saw Brian Tucker and Tyler Schwartz in there on the stop, as that's what you want to see from your running back there, that extra lowering of the shoulder for some extra yards. And a running back that Ron Plans really talked highly of. I talked to him on Monday in the matchup before Carroll. Koth was a guy that he recruited to try to come not only in Elmhurst, I think also Minnesota State Mankato, a senior from Racine. So Ron Plans familiar with Koth, the 6 foot, 195-pound senior. He sets up in the backfield again, and he fakes on play action. Burlingame throws far side, tipped and incomplete. Throw a little bit high, intended for Nicholas Curtis. You can tell Burlingame can really put some zip on that football from the left side. That one just a little too high off the fingertips. Minute 15, into the second quarter. Blue Jays leading by 14, showing blitz from the right side, and Burlingame's going to check to the sideline. Alec Titoli and Andy Warson looked like they were coming on a blitz from the left side of the defense. Third down, Titoli still showing blitz. Here he comes. Couple coming from the right side, and that one is complete over the middle. And it's Curtis again, able to make the catch one-on-one with Tyler Schwartz, the corner, and he makes the catch over the middle. Good-looking throw from Burlingame. Nice catch. See, a little high and wide, but Curtis was able to bring it in. And it's a first down for Carroll and a third down conversion. Elsewhere on the defense, also in the secondary, Sean Weatherall, number 26, a safety, along with Tyler Schwartz, number 8. Burlingame fakes the handoff, rolls right in trouble, stepping up into the pocket, and he's brought down for a sack. Miles Carroll in on the sack for the Blue Jays. Either Carroll or Schwartz. I think it was Miles Carroll who ended up grabbing him and bringing him down for a sack, so that'll be a loss of 4, 2nd and 14 for Carroll. On the linebacking crew, Alec Titoli, number 43, Andy Warson, number 7, and then Brian Tucker, number 51. Far side, incomplete. Just out of the reach of his intended target. That was Erke on the far side. Good. Erke was able to get maybe a half step on his defender in coverage, Tristan Bolus. That pass just a little too far for its intended target, and that'll set up 3rd and long for Carroll. Elmhurst defense trying to get off the field again. They did so on Carroll's last drive right around this portion of the field. Blitz coming, the screen, and it's a really well-designed screen far side, heading upfield. Koth into the open field. Koth all the way into the end zone for a touchdown. You could not have drawn up a better play to come as the Blue Jays brought a jailbreak blitz on 3rd and 14, and a screen play was absolutely perfectly executed, and it was a touchdown for Koth as he had plenty of blockers in front and not a lot of blue shirts left to evade. And that's going to be a touchdown for Carroll, which will put, with this extra point, they could put their point total at 14 against a defense that gives up 15.4 points per game. As this kick is up, almost blocked. Good effort by Bolus, but it is good. And there's 12:25 to go in the second quarter, and it's 21-14 in favor of the Blue Jays. We knew that it was going to be Carroll's offense against the Blue Jays defense, probably the key matchup in this game. Both units are probably, we would say, the better out of the two units on each side. The Elmhurst defense, the Carroll offense. Elmhurst defense coming in 3rd in scoring defense in the conference, 2nd in passing yards allowed, just 183 passing yards allowed per game. But already Carroll has racked up 155 passing yards in just about a quarter and 3 minutes. Elmhurst defense struggling a bit right now, trying to figure out this Carroll team, and that was just a very well-executed call by the Carroll coaching staff on the jailbreak blitz, setting up the screen to the far side, and Koth had plenty of green turf to run on. He was able to make his way to the end zone for a touchdown. Elmhurst coming in 3-2, Carroll 0-4. The Pioneers fell to Lakeland at home 27-24. Then had their bye week, just the second week of the year, before losing at Augie 41-14 at UW, or at home against UW La Crosse 41-7. This is going to be Schwartz, I believe, on the return. Takes it up past the 30. Number 8, Tyler Schwartz with a return, takes it up to just past the 30-yard line. Elmhurst offense, 3 for 3 touchdowns so far on their 3 drives. Will set up 1st and 10 from their own 31. Then last week, the Pioneers fell to Carthage at home, 38-14, in a rivalry that has been renewed with Carroll rejoining the conference. Now 2 teams from Wisconsin in the CCIW. Hernandez fakes the handoff, looks over the middle. Kalen Miller bumped and, tipped, almost incomplete, and a flag comes out late. Hudson has already been called once for pass interference. There was a bit of jostling and a bit of contact on that one. Let's see what the call is, as Miller almost was able to make the spectacular catch. Tipping up the ball, almost tip drill to himself there. They're going to give the pass interference to Muschel instead, number 22. And that will give 15 yards to the Blue Jays. Second time that the Pioneers have been, or third time I should say, they've been penalized. A face mask, personal foul, a 15-yard pass interference, then a pass interference in the end zone that set up the Blue Jays' second touchdown of the game from Connor Brewer. Now for Elmhurst, 1st and 10 from their own 46. Carroll shows blitz and comes into the neutral zone. Hard count for the Blue Jays, pays off. It'll be 1st and 5 coming up. Coming into the neutral zone, Adam Sevilla, number 47. Wanted to come on a blitz from the right side of the defense instead. Hopped over the line too soon and almost knocked down an Elmhurst lineman who sold it a bit, holding his position. So 1st and 5 now in Carroll territory at the 49. 4 receivers in one back. It's Brewer. Hernandez hands off Brewer straight up the middle and right into the teeth of the Carroll defensive line. Sevilla in on the stop along with a couple of other linemen as well. And a Molise looked like he was there. So Elmhurst still with a gain of about 3 will set up just 2nd and 2. Elmhurst crowd trying to get fired up on the near side. Stands packed. Even the track is really packed with Elmhurst supporters as Hernandez looking towards Miller. Over the middle. Miller with the catch. Miller evades a tackle to the 15. Again evades a tackle down to the 10-yard line. Kalen Miller, the junior from Bolingbrook. Big play threat over the middle, and Elmhurst has really come out throwing the ball down the field, which is something that here, at least here at home, we did not see against North Park because the running game was so effective. But Hernandez throwing the ball down the field has been very good today.
Blue Jays are first and goal at the 10-yard line.
First and goal, we're right at the 10. Hernandez has done a heck of a job throwing the ball down the field so far today. Elmhurst already approaching 300 yards of total offense as they throw to the far side. The fade for Brewer, a little too far, incomplete. 11 minutes to go, even here in the second quarter. It's 21-14. Blue Jays on top, and they're threatening for their 4th touchdown in 4 drives. With 10 on the play clock, the Blue Jays break the huddle here. We'll keep you updated on the rest of the games around the conference as well. There are actually 3 games that start at 1 o'clock today, so no night games today in the conference. As it's a quick snap to McKellar, who runs left, and he's inside the 5.
McKellar, the ball carrier.
Austin McKellar with the carry. Little shovel pass from Hernandez. Kind of a hot potato there from Hernandez. Took the snap and then right timed it well for McKellar, but now for the Blue Jays, 3rd and goal from the 3. Far left hash, they move Kalen Miller to the near side. McKellar is in the slot to the right. Brockman, watch him, slot left. They now motion Partenheimer away from the left. One-on-one, Brockman, they'll throw the fade, and it is incomplete. Brockman got spun around a little bit, and not surprised that they tried to go to their big 6'4" wide receiver on the far side. Throw probably would have been better served to go to the outside there. Instead, the throw was to the inside, and on 4th down, it'll be Bailey out to attempt a field goal.
Lucan with the hold. Bailey to attempt it from the 10.
20-yard field goal attempt, left hash. Snap good, hold down, kick low, and it is good. That is about as low as you can hit it without it being blocked as Bailey ends up knocking it through. 20-yard field goal is good with 10-12 to go, second quarter. 24-14, Elmhurst leading Carroll. And let's check in at some scores from around the conference. Elmhurst leading here 24-14 over Carroll, a high-scoring affair here in the first half. In Wheaton, it's Wheaton 21, Milliken 13. So Milliken giving Wheaton a bit of a run right now, a one-possession game. Milliken has the football inside their own territory. Illinois Wesleyan sticking it to Augustana right now, 28-3. Now one with 12:32 to go third quarter, and North Central leading North Park on the road in the third quarter, 28-14. So about where you would expect those games to roll so far in conference play. Bartenheimer set to boot it away with the wind. And it is in the air. It's a deep one. It'll go all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
Touchback for Carroll.
Some offensive numbers from around the conference right now. Andrew Bowers, 14 of 20 for 200 yards and 3 scores for Wheaton. One of the top offensive players so far on the day as Carroll will set up for their drive from their own 25-yard line. Bankert from North Central, just 69 yards against North Park right now. Maybe Bankert of North Park, I should say. On the other side, Rudder for North Central, 340 yards and 4 scores. As there's a handoff to the left, a flag comes in the middle of everything.
The ball carrier.
As Koth spins his way towards the 26, but it is going to be holding on Carroll. Set up 1st and 20 for Carroll as North Central has just scored again. It is now 34-14 with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. So the game to watch right now, besides, of course, this one, Wheaton 21, Milliken 13. So Milliken's given Wheaton a game on the road right now. Milliken 2-2, Wheaton 5-0 on the year. Elmhurst defense trying to make some changes here as the handoff goes to Koth. He has one tackle broken, gets back to the 20. Still be 2nd and 15 coming up for Carroll here as the handoff from Burlingame. On the offensive line for Carroll today, Riley Nass at left tackle, Patrick Barrett left guard, Robbie Reese at center, Nick Crivello the right guard, and Billy Schmidt the right tackle. With Burlingame the quarterback, Ryan Fry at fullback, Bennett Koth at running back. Starters for Carroll University Pioneers, they try to set up the screen. Instead it's a pump fake and a throw down the field, wide open, right past the first down marker.
Burlingame's pass is complete.
That's going to be number 20, Brandon Erkey on the catch.
Erkey with the catch, 1st down for the Pioneers.
Elmhurst took away the quick screen there, but Erkey was open in the middle of the defense on the far side. And they get a 1st down, does Carroll, getting back from the holding penalty and setting up at the 35. Koth motions to the backfield now, and Burlingame in the pistol will keep it. Look to the near side, quick screen, caught by Zitsky. Forced out of bounds quickly by Bolus, but not before a gain of 7, maybe 8. We'll call it 7. Now at their own 44. Elmhurst defense, not their best game so far. Already 14 points allowed. We're only 8.5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Is Koth again with a nice run up towards midfield. Stopped at midfield by a couple of Blue Jays. Ross Beck, one of the players in on the stop, the nose guard for the Blue Jays, getting outside of his nose guard position out to the outside to make the play. Burlingame all alone in the backfield right now. They motion Koth back there. Now they'll hand it off on a reverse. Koth has some running room to the near side on that sweep play. And Blue Jay defense is really struggling for answers against this Carroll offense.
Another 1st down for the Pioneers.
Carroll, a team that's averaging just 14.8 points per game and just 150 passing yards. When you look at it right now, they have 176 passing yards already today. 100 and just 14 rushing yards, but that'll help that total a little bit right there with that run. The passing game from Burlingame has been good, and the play action is what has set up that solid passing game for Carroll thus far today. Halfway through the second quarter, handoff to a new back on the near side, forced out of bounds, Lewis on the carry. Chaz Lewis, just 7 carries for 14 yards so far on the season. He spells Koth here and gains a couple to the left side. And we'll call it 1 to the 37-yard line. 2nd and 9 coming up with 7 minutes to go. The Blue Jays on top 24-14 here at Langhorse Field. Both offenses have been very efficient here today. Elmhurst scoring on all 4 of their drives to this point. Just 1 punt so far for Carroll. DeToli comes on a blitz. The pass is complete to Zitsky in the middle of the field. A gain of about 3.
Worsen with the tackle.
Up to the 34-yard line, will set up 3rd down. Big 3rd down coming up for this Elmhurst defense. So far today, Carroll 2 of 3 on 3rd down. Both teams averaging over 10 yards per play at this point. 3 receivers near side, nobody far side. Koth to the right of the quarterback, Burlingame. He stays in to block. Burlingame looks to throw. Has some opening to the near side. He can run for the 1st down, and it's a wide open spaces for Burlingame, who tucks his way inside the 15-yard line. 1st down for Carroll, and another red zone opportunity for the Pioneers. Lots and lots of room. The Elmhurst defense in man-to-man. It clears out on the left side where the Carroll started with 3 receivers, and that was a wide open space. Under 6 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Blue Jays leading by 10, but Carroll threatening as Koth comes back to the backfield. Snap goes to Burlingame, who runs straight up the middle. Brought down Weatherall with a hit, but it looks like Cam Hall made the tackle.
Lane with the tackle.
Burlingame sets up with 5 receivers, spreading out this Elmhurst defense. Blue Jays rush 4. DeToli comes free, and he's able to make the stop as Burlingame tried to cut it back to the right. Designed quarterback run to the left, but it was bottled up, so he tried to come back to the right. You see DeToli coming in there from the right side, and he was able to eventually bring down Burlingame. He slipped a little bit, did the quarterback.
DeToli with the tackle.
So set up 3rd down and 5, maybe call it 4. From the Elmhurst 9-yard line. Burlingame looks to throw. Wide open, Zitsky in the middle of the field. He catches it for a touchdown. That's got to be a defensive lapse there from the Blue Jays. Somebody missed their man because Zitsky was standing in the end zone wide open for what seemed like an eternity. And eventually Burlingame found him wide open in the end zone for a Carroll touchdown. And now, not even a half into the game, Carroll has eclipsed their points per game on the season, and Elmhurst defense has eclipsed the points they've allowed per game this season. They've allowed 15 points per game this season. Carroll's only scored 14 points. This will be 21 if the point after is good.
Glenn's kick in the air. It is good for 13.
Glenn's kick is good, and it's 24-21. Elmhurst on top in a game that is, and something that we haven't seen from the Blue Jays really all season long. It's been an offensive showcase. Normally with this Blue Jay team, you've seen a lot of tight defensive games where points are at a premium. Today, points at anything but a premium as we've now scored 45 points. We have 4:13 to go here in the second quarter. We'll see if the Blue Jays make some adjustments on defense coming back out of the locker room, because now with 4 minutes to go, this is a chance for the Blue Jays, kind of a 4-minute drill type thing, run down the clock, try to get some points here at the end of the half. Of course, Elmhurst has done a great job on offense, but 190 passing yards right now for Carroll. Burlingame is 10 for 13 for 190 yards and 3 scores. And the Elmhurst defense has yet to get a turnover yet today as well. Neither team has turned the ball over to this point. Only 1 punt. Otherwise, we've had scores on every drive. Kick in the air. Hausman on the return. Ooh, almost had the ball stripped, carrying it a little bit further away from his body. Eventually brought down just before the 30. Forward progress will give him the 29, and that's where Elmhurst will start. 4:05 to play second quarter, leading 24-21.
That was Sivia with the tackle for the Pioneers.
So here comes Hernandez setting up the offense at the Elmhurst 29. Everybody runs into each other in the backfield for Elmhurst, and the carry is brought to maybe the 30. That's the second time we've seen the Blue Jays run into each other in the backfield. As a miscommunication, it was either Brewer, I think, wanted the handoff. He didn't get it. Instead, it was number 38, Brock Bethke, the freshman, who ended up taking the ball, and he plunged ahead for maybe 1. That play doomed from the start. Elmhurst now 2nd and 9. That's a surprising thing for the Elmhurst offense today, which has been firing on all cylinders throughout the contest. As Hernandez takes the snap, looking towards Miller. He throws for Miller, who has a step, has to come back to the football. Oh, Miller was behind the defender, and Hernandez just didn't quite put enough on it. See Miller here beyond the defender, but he had to try to come back for the football, and it's deflected away by Carroll's Bennett Polson. Or excuse me, that was Tristan Schubert, I should say, on the defense. Miller, big playmaker for the Blue Jays, had a step, and now Elmhurst with 3rd and 9. 2 of 4 on 3rd down to the Blue Jays. 1 resulted in a field goal. 1, they went for it on 4th down and got it. Hernandez back to throw. Throws right over the middle, caught by Justin Ward, and he lost the football. Looked like Ward may have been down on the play. Either way, I think Elmhurst fell on it. And, yes, they're going to say he was down, I think. Though they put the spot. They put the spot at the 41, which makes me think they did call that a fumble. Because forward progress would have given Ward probably the 43 or 44-yard line. Either way, pass complete to Ward, and Hernandez has converted yet another Elmhurst first down. Less than 3 minutes to play here in the second quarter. 24-21 Blue Jays. Handoff, left side. That's the big running back again. Bethke, the freshman from Jenison, Michigan, rumbling his way to about the 41. Excuse me, the 45 for a 4-yard gain.
4-yard gain on the play.
Taking down to about 2 minutes to play here in the first half as Brewer takes the handoff, has some running room past the 50. That'll be a first down for the Blue Jays here. And a late flag comes in. Carroll fans cheering. Was going to be a first down, and the Blue Jays are backing up That's going to be a late flag here. I'm going to guess a late hit or an unsportsmanlike or something along that nature, a dead ball foul.
Unsportsmanlike on the offense.
Kalen Miller called for unsportsmanlike conduct. It's Elmhurst's second unsportsmanlike conduct play of the game. So Kalen Miller charged with the foul. That will send the Blue Jays back. It'll be 1st and 10 for Elmhurst after the gain, but at the same time, Elmhurst now deeper in their own end, and the clock is now running with under 2 minutes to play. Ben Holloway rushing onto the field late with 13 seconds on the play clock. Elmhurst a little discombobulated here on offense as they break the huddle with just 7 on the play clock. Elmhurst hustling to the line with 3. Hernandez takes the snap with 2. Looking to the left side. Wide open receiver Justin Ward makes the catch on the in route right at the 50. And they gain back the yards they lost on the unsportsmanlike penalty out to the 50-yard line.
With the tackle. First down, Elmhurst.
First down, clock stops. 90 seconds to go first half. Now it's running again. Elmhurst still with all 3 timeouts. Elmhurst looking for a score before the half, leading 24-21. Hernandez looking towards Miller, double covered, still throws it there anyway. Caught by Miller, and he gets out of bounds right at the line to gain. They give him the first down. Either way, he's out of bounds, which will stop the clock. I think they're going to spot it at the 41, which will be 2nd down and 1. Carroll even had that play double covered, but Miller ended up running out towards the sideline. Hernandez looking that way the whole time. Connects with his target. 1:11 to go first half. Blue Jays now in plus territory at the 41. Hernandez looking towards Brewer. Now looks back towards the middle of the field. Open. McKellar overshot him.
Incomplete.
McKellar had a step. Hernandez just missed him. Incompletion sets up 3rd and 1. Nice move by McKellar. You saw it there on the right side of your screen. He did a little out and go. That's how he got a step on his defender. Colin Shepley was the one in coverage for the Pioneers, and now 3rd and 1 for Elmhurst. From the Carroll 41. Minute 5 to play first half. Hernandez looks to throw and trying to sidestep his way to the first down, plunges ahead, and he got hit from behind, which forced him past the line to gain. And it's a first down for Elmhurst. Stop from Peter Menges as Elmhurst takes their first time out of the half. Hernandez keeping himself alive just long enough to spin for the first down. Elmhurst leading by 3, looking for some extra points before the half.
That was an Elmhurst first down.
If you know anything about Elmhurst football this year, you'll know that the fact that there are 24 points on the board for the Blue Jays and 21 points against for Elmhurst is a bit of an anomaly this season. Blue Jays score an average of 20.6 points per game. On defense, they only allow 15.4 points a game. Now that's out the window because Carroll's already scored 21 here in the contest. And really, the Blue Jays haven't had an answer for Carroll's throwing the football. Today, Kyle Burlingame for the Carroll Pioneers is having himself a career day. 10 for 13 so far for 190 yards and 3 scores to 3 different receivers. 2 big plays started off the game right away. 65 yard touchdown for the Blue Jays. 63-yard touchdown for Carroll put us at 7-7. Elmhurst then with a 99-yard drive to take the lead as Hernandez rolls to the near side, throws to the sideline, caught by Partenheimer. He goes out of bounds right near the line to gain. 2nd down and short coming up for the Blue Jays. Hernandez with a strike to Partenheimer on the out pattern. On the run, able to make the catch. And it's 2nd and short at the 30. Holloway is the running back as Brewer split out slot left side as a receiver. Miller all alone to the near side. Let's see if they shift a safety over to double cover him. Less than a minute to play. Hernandez looks to the left side. Open receiver. Touchdown, McKellar. Blue Jays with the score late in the half. Austin McKellar, first touchdown of the sophomore's career. Big play for Elmhurst as Hernandez drops in a beauty. As the offense firing on all cylinders today for the Blue Jays. This for 31 points. Just 11 away from the season high, which also came here at home against North Park, 42. Kick is up, and it is good. Bailey with the extra point. 48 seconds to go here in the first half. Elmhurst to receive the opening kickoff. So Carroll will get the ball to start the second half, but Elmhurst Fight Song will play once again. Their fourth touchdown of the game. Let's check out what's been going on the Elmhurst offensive side. Passing-wise, well, Orlando Hernandez, 12 for 18, 230 yards and 3 touchdowns. I would venture to say that's Hernandez's career high, and we're only in the first half. Long of 65 on the 65-yard touchdown to Partenheimer, who has 2 catches for 74 and a score. Kalen Miller, 2 for 45. Justin Ward, 3 for 42. All receiving this is. Austin McKellar, 2 for 37 and a score. Matt Brockman, 2 for 20 and a score. And then rushing-wise, Hernandez, 6 carries, 70 yards. An average of 11.7 yards per carry. Connor Brewer, 6 carries, 39 yards. And that's the 2 main offensive contributors in the rushing game so far for Elmhurst. But you look at Carroll, well, it's pretty impressive as well. Enright, 2 catches, 80 yards and a score. Koth, 2 catches, 54 yards and a touchdown. The long 47-yard screen pass. And then Zitsky, 3 catches, 19 yards and a touchdown. Burlingame, 10 for 13, 190 yards and 3 touchdowns. This is a blast of a kick from Partenheimer that will be down in the end zone for a touchback. Rushing-wise for Carroll, Koth, 6 carries, 27 yards. And Burlingame, 5 carries, 24 yards, 4.8 yards for carry, as Burlingame had a big third down conversion. As we have another flag on the play, let's see what it is. It's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on Adam Sevilla, the senior from Waukegan, Wisconsin. That'll back up Carroll half the distance, so we'll see if Carroll opts to try to throw the ball. They've been throwing the ball effectively today with 48 seconds to go and 3 timeouts. I wouldn't be surprised to see a running play here. If you gain a bunch of yards, call a timeout, see what you can do. If not, try to throw a quick ball to get a couple of yards and just see what you can do after the catch. Burlingame takes the snap, does hand off. Koth gets hit in the backfield but evades the tackle, spins forward to the 15, maybe the 16. And let's see if Carroll just opts to head to the locker room. It's been a great offensive half for both teams. Both defenses have struggled. Clock still running. Looks like Carroll just is content to go to the locker room here. 31-21, as there is about a second difference between game and play clock, so Carroll can just run it out here, and it looks like they will. Elmhurst will head to the locker room with a 10-point lead, 31-21. Certainly wasn't the defensive half that Elmhurst was looking for on their homecoming game. But in terms of offense, the crowd here at Langhorse Field, the stands packed. They certainly got one heck of an offensive showcase from the Blue Jays. Here to open up this homecoming game. First half in the books. Elmhurst 31, Carroll 21. Let's check out the offensive stats. First downs, how about 17 first downs for the Blue Jays in the first half alone? Carroll had 11. rushing yards. Elmhurst with a big advantage, 135 rushing yards to 55, also with an advantage in passing yards. Orlando Hernandez having himself a career day here today, 236 passing yards, 190 for Carroll's Burlingame. Yards per play, how about 10.03 yards per play for the Blue Jays, 9.42 for Carroll. Third down efficiency, well, both teams incredibly efficient on third down, 4 of 6 for the Blue Jays, but you could say 5 of 6 because of the 1 fourth down conversion that they gained. After that, they went for a pass play, I believe, on 3rd and short, and then went for the run play on 4th and short to gain that first down in what led to a touchdown. Elmhurst hasn't punted the ball yet because they've scored on all of their possessions so far. So far, time of possession, 17-31 for Elmhurst, and a team that leads the conference in time of possession, 33.42. That is not surprising. As now we are going to take a moment here on the field to acknowledge the 2 members of the Blue Jay Backer Hall of Fame, newest members who were inducted last night.
The Blue Jay Backer Hall of Fame welcomed 2 new inductees last night in Ken Bartels and Shannon Larson. Ken is just the 4th special recognition inductee of the Blue Jay
Here's a little information on Ken Bartels, the special recognition inductee. 4th special recognition inductee of Blue Jay Backer Hall of Fame history after serving as a senior administrator at Elmhurst for nearly 30 years, 1981 to 2009. Bartels there on the left, as he played a significant role in fundraising for all of the athletic facilities constructed or remodeled from 81 to 2009. Also a significant role in increasing the success of athletic fundraising through Blue Jay Backers. Of course, that's what the Hall of Fame is named after. Bartels actually hired the first full-time sports information director here at Elmhurst as well, and really helped oversee the overall promotion of Elmhurst athletics to the media, etc. And he also started broadcasting Elmhurst sporting events on the local cable television, which eventually led to the creation of what I'm broadcasting on right now, BlueJayTV.com. So Ken Bartels, special recognition inductee there on your left. And then Shannon Zobzak Larson of volleyball, 2001. She becomes the 4th member of the 2000 Elmhurst volleyball squad to enter the Blue Jay Backer Hall of Fame. 3-time all-conference selection, is a part of 2 CCIW championship and NCAA tournament squads, 98 and 2000, as she was an All-American, All-Conference, All-Region player during her time, including a 7-0 mark in the regular season and then 5-0 record in the CCIW tournament en route to the 2nd CCIW title in 3 seasons for the Blue Jays in her senior year. And she was not only a great setter, but she also totaled many digs, many kills, many aces as well, as the Blue Jays reached the Sweet 16 in that 2000 campaign, as she helped the team capture the team's first CCIW championship under head coach Julie Hall. Played setter and on the right side, contributing across all statistical categories throughout her career. 596 kills, 2,316 assists, 5.72 per set in her career, 133 aces, 1,036 digs, and 254 blocks. Those are some really astronomical numbers. Shannon Zobzak Larson adding into the Hall of Fame. She is on the right there wearing the Elmhurst volleyball shirt. Congratulations to both Ken Bartels and Shannon Zobzak Larson, as the crowd will give them one more round of applause. The 2016 Hall of Fame class inducted yesterday into the Blue Jay Backers Hall of Fame.
Elmhurst volleyball coach Julie Hall. Coach Hall recently achieved a
also going to recognize Julie Hall. Not sure where she is, but she just recently won her 600th match of her collegiate coaching career here with Elmhurst. So just a great moment for Julie Hall, and always has had lots of success here at Elmhurst volleyball team. Went 1-1 yesterday. Now we're going to take a break here on BlueJayTV.com. We have about 17 minutes of halftime before we come back for the second half. Elmhurst leads 31-21 over Carroll at homecoming on Blue Jay TV.
Coming here as a Division III player, you're coming here to get your degree. We have some players that go on to be professional athletes. They've gone overseas, but that's not the norm. Our players are coming. They're finishing their playing careers here, and so whenever they're done, they're being prepared in something else other than just basketball. So for us, that's the student-athlete model. You come in, you're working hard. Our players put in as much time as a Division I player does, but it's because they want to be there. I know that from motivating our players, if they're coming to practice, I know that they're working hard because it's out of them, not just because we've got a dollar sign, they have to do it, this is how they have to stay in school. They don't have to be there. They're there because they're motivated to, they want to be a good team, they want to be a good player, and there's something that's special about that experience to me, coaching that player.
Definitely being on the cross-country and track team, that has been really great. The athletic community as a whole is really inclusive and inviting, and then having that team, it's really family-oriented. We usually have 20 girls on the team, and we're all brought together by our love for running, and our coach is really instrumental in that. But you get to know each other so well through practices, and you're going through all these really hard workouts together. So you're putting everything you've got out there, and you're all supporting each other. You get to know each other on a really personal level that you might not otherwise just by meeting these girls in class. So you get to know about their families and their classes and their goals for the season, and you really support each other. The Division III athlete is kind of the perfect balance of student athlete too. You still get your sport, and it's highly competitive, and we compete just as much as the D1 athletes do, but then we are allowed to be students, and we can be involved in a lot of other things. I know a lot of the girls on my team and myself are involved in a lot of other clubs and organizations, and I feel like at a D1 school you kind of are limited. You can only be on your sports team and then study too for your classes. So we kind of get the best of both worlds with that.
College only happens once. You need to know what you're getting into. That's why we made this video. We wanted to give you an idea of what you might choose to get into at Elmhurst College. We went around the campus with a camera for a full school year and asked people what they thought about the place. We didn't plant anybody, and we didn't script anything. We just asked questions. We started at new student orientation.
I chose Elmhurst because the campus is really nice, first off. I like it a lot, and it's really close to Chicago. I like Chicago.
The reason why I chose to come here is the smart classes and the atmosphere. The people here are friendly, and I just love it.
Nicest campus I've seen anywhere. I visited a lot of other schools, but this one just had all the trees. They had the atmosphere.
All the people I've met have been really, really friendly.
It's a beautiful campus.
It's a beautiful campus. Lots of plants, lots of friendly people. And they're just so helpful. Everyone wants to help you out to get to where you need to be.
Come on in, everybody. It's good to have you here.
It's just going to be a fun year all together. Meet lots of people, hang out, go downtown a lot.
Now it's time to kick off the school year. That means going to class. You've been doing that for years already, but classes at Elmhurst are a little different.
If you've never experienced something, you can definitely get into it and experience it here at Elmhurst.
It's an open environment. Anywhere you go, you're going to get that opportunity just to better yourself. When you're in the large universities, you don't get that opportunity because you're just another student and they're just talking in front of you.
The class size is smaller, so you're not in a class of about 600 people.
I know all of my professors by name, and what's better is they know me by name.
You can go to them and feel comfortable dropping them an email, stopping by their office during office hours and asking for help.
Every morning I wake up and I'm excited to see my students again. I love hearing them and their stories and getting to know them.
The opportunity to interact with faculty in a real meaningful way, whether it's in collaborative research, whether it's one-on-one, talking about aspects of the class in their offices, the availability, all those things are there.
Learning doesn't only take place in the classroom, but outside the classroom.
The lecturing style has sort of gone out of fashion. You do present some material, but you try for the students to discover the answers rather than providing them to the student.
It's a process, and we create that process every time, every class.
In business, they're not looking for people that have more accounting or more marketing. They're looking for people with what we consider the liberal learning skills.
You're going to be able to combine professional interests with a liberal arts education.
Elmhurst College is preparing me for my life experience later on after college, and it's a great environment to grow.
Elmhurst College gave me a chance to kind of sit back and evaluate the world at large, and then begin to say, okay, I could kind of see myself doing this.
Of course, all work and no play is no way to go through college. That's why we have special weekends like homecoming. Football is one of 18 varsity sports at Elmhurst. It's not the Big Ten. In a lot of ways, it's better.
But what separated Elmhurst College from every other institution that was looking to recruit me as a football player is Elmhurst College was more interested in me being a student athlete.
Knowing that I would be running cross country and track all 4 years, I think it's really helped me structure my educational career as well.
Being a student athlete takes up a lot of time, but it's a commitment that you really want to make.
What commitment do you want to make? You'll have your choice at Elmhurst.
There's over 100 different clubs and organizations on campus.
Elmhurst has something for everyone, there really is. I mean, whatever your interest is, it's here.
I've been involved in the music department, in the band, and now the orchestra. Intramural sports, or art, or music, or drama.
They have a Greek system here, and I really wanted to get involved.
Joining a fraternity, playing on the men's soccer team for 4 years.
You have so many opportunities to get your hands on things. You know, I was involved in union board and volleyball.
There's just a huge array that you can choose from.
You can definitely make a difference, definitely.
You can also make a difference far beyond the campus. Our study abroad program gives you a chance to experience the world. Elmhurst students study in 44 countries.
The first January I was here, I studied in France, and the second January I studied in India.
Back home, you'll enjoy all the advantages of going to college in Elmhurst, Illinois, a special suburb of a great city.
Downtown Elmhurst is walking distance, and there's so many things going on. We have the movie theater, there's restaurants, there's shopping.
The train station's right within walking distance, and you can always go to downtown Chicago.
About half-hour metro ride away. And so a lot of my friends will go downtown every few weekends and see what's down there. There's a lot of class trips that go downtown.
I like to go into the city and enjoy spending time there. It's something totally new and different for me.
One reason you're going to college is to prepare for a life of professional achievement. We'll help you to get the hands-on experience you need to really know your stuff.
If you're looking for a job or you're looking for an internship, they have so many connections to help you.
They want to help you junior and senior year to be able to get those internships and get those job opportunities.
It gives you an automatic network of people.
I work for WGN. I am a sports news intern.
I'm currently interning at Victory Records, which is downtown Chicago.
I'm a sales planning intern with the Kellogg Company.
I'm interning at Paramount Public Relations.
I'm currently interning with the Chicago Bears.
There's a lot of teamwork involved in my internship, so you really learn how to work with other people.
It's very hands-on.
Just being able to work with their players, like the guys you see on TV on Sunday, and just kind of finding out that they're just regular guys like everyone else. It's really been cool.
You're in a small school, and then you have this opportunity in a big city, and I've met artists, been to concerts, and it's awesome.
Our job is to help students learn how to navigate and manage their own career when they graduate.
So that's Elmhurst College in about 7 minutes. We'll leave you with a few final thoughts from our students and faculty.
Those people who decide to come here simply say that there was a feeling about the campus. They said there's just something, they sense something more, like hey, I belong here.
Coming in here and making the connections with the people that I have, I know that even when I graduate, I'm still going to have these connections. I'm still going to have a home here even, 5, 10, 20 years down the road.
I'm sure there's other good schools out there too, but I think you'd have a hard time beating Elmhurst.
Your experience is going to really be what college ought to be.
Originally, it was a breath of fresh air. I'm alone. What am I gonna do? What could I possibly do? What's ahead for me? And once I got on campus, I just excelled. I utilized all my resources coming here. It was a program called Direct Connect, which was a minority program to get students situated with the campus 2 weeks before school started. So I actually lived on campus 2 weeks before. I went to seminars, which actually helped us get acquainted to the long campus hours. The teachers that were in the seminars were actually going to be our teachers that were on campus. So we have something here called the first year seminar, which not only is supposed to promote growth within the freshmen, but also serve as like a guidance or a type of direction for their first time here. And like, they were ecstatic. Like, they helped me, they gravitated towards me, and I actually use them as a stepping stone even now in senior year. Growing up, like, I did not have that type of support. In high school, you think like, oh, like you can stay after class, but what will other students think? I think once I got here, it was more so like, what do I want? Like, just having a drive, a motivation to like go forth and actually reach out for help or ask for help.
There's always a new experience like right around the corner. I didn't plan on running here, and then like right before school started, I emailed Coach Eric Guda. I sort of have been running this summer and I've always been a runner. What if I joined the team? And he was like so excited about it, and he was just very welcoming about it. So the fact that I came into the school with like 17 other people that were runners and I had something to relate with, that was awesome. Since we're all D3 athletes, school comes first, athletes come second, but at the same time, we're playing that role 24/7. And it's really helpful that like I don't just have this cross-country family, I have all the athletes here on campus that I know I can like relate to in some way. There's so many opportunities here that, you know, help you push you in the right direction, and there's always someone to help you along the way and support you and be your friend and also be your professor and also be your coach and be your mentor. And there's just so many different roles that you can connect one-on-one with everyone.
I came in as an English major. I was looking to be secondary ed, and I wasn't really sure, and I took an American history class that I just loved. Every history professor I've had is really excited when they're lecturing, which is not typically what you assume you're going to get in a history lecture. They're all just really passionate about what they do, and I got just as excited and wanted to be up there. So I got in contact with my professor and I was like, I'd like to do what you do, how do I get there? Since then I've been kind of on the path to grad school, and I've had probably 15 meetings with my professor. She shared everything that she's done, her statement of purpose, how to get in contact with other professors at grad schools, when to take the GRE. She's pretty much been with me through the whole thing, and I'm not really sure how I would have done it without her. Elmhurst has changed me pretty much all around. The people I've met here have really shaped the direction I'm going. I didn't think I'd be heading in the direction I am when I came in, and it's a select few professors and classes and a couple people I've met that have really pushed me to do what I want to do now, and it's nice to feel like you have a direction, and I don't think I would have found that if I hadn't been here.
It just seemed like a really welcoming community. That's kind of like the first thing I got from it. Even if it wasn't even like on a day where it was like a big event. It was just like another day on the campus, but everyone was like waving to each other, saying hi, things like that. Funny for me, I came to Elmhurst. My first day on the campus, I found out for FYS, my staff partner was Steve Marionetti. It just seemed like a really welcoming community. That's kind of like the first thing I got from it. Even if it wasn't even like on a day where it was like a big event. It was just like another day on the campus, but everyone was like waving to each other, saying hi, things like that. Funny for me, I came to Elmhurst. My first day on the campus, I found out for FYS, my staff partner was Steve Marionetti, the head coach of the wrestling team. I had wrestled for 4 years in high school. I had done MMA over the summer before coming to Elmhurst. I had no plans of wrestling in college. I came here, he was my FYS staff partner, was like, all right, I should probably just give this a shot. And I'm still wrestling today. The cool thing about wrestling for me here was that it wasn't something that took up all my time. It was something that did have a fair time commitment, but wrestling wasn't my life. I was able to go out and do a lot of different activities and get involved on campus and be able to still wrestle here. Being somebody who could talk to the coach one-on-one, it really was nice to have that ability to talk to him and say, hey, coach, I know we have a tournament this weekend, but there's something serious that's coming up for something else that I have to be at. And him knowing that I'm involved and him being able to say, I understand, okay, you'll have to make up the workouts at some point, but I understand. So that for me was the coolest thing, especially because I really started getting involved in my senior year of high school. And so being involved here was something I was really, really motivated to be. And then as a result of that, making sure that I could be involved while still staying in shape and still doing what I love to do, which is wrestle, really made it an even better experience.
Not just football, but really the academics as well, and the career advancements. I saw the opportunities here, so I loved the place as soon as I found it. I knew I wanted to do something business related. It's kind of hard when people, when they tell you to pick a major. So I just picked business administration, and then I really found entrepreneurship to be fun, because my sister's an entrepreneur, so I see what she's doing, and I really like the whole atmosphere. Be your own boss, set your own hours. The Center of Professional Excellence really helping me out find jobs, find like-minded people as well, who I can have as mentors and advisors. We have right now, it is a mentorship program, and the Center of Professional Excellence picks a mentor out for your major and your values. So we meet up about once a month and discuss stuff, and he just kind of guides me through the college life, and because he's an entrepreneur, so he kind of gives me real world experience. Elmhurst is preparing me well enough, so yeah, so I'm definitely ready, and I'm just getting there, So junior year, that's when really everybody starts to get, if they haven't already, they start to get on the roll with internships or job fairs, all this stuff. So Elmhurst is starting to prepare me for that right now.
North Central 35, North Park 14.
Welcome back. Second half of homecoming here at Elmhurst College. It'll be the Blue Jays and the Pioneers starting off this second half here in about 15 seconds or so. Elmhurst set to kick off here to start the second half. Luke Tanaka with you. Blue Jays 31, Carroll Pioneers 21. As we take a look at some of the first half stats, 10-point lead for Elmhurst, 6 advantage in first down, 17-11. Rushing yards, 80 more rushing yards, 18 carries, 135 yards on the ground for the Blue Jays, 13 carries, 55 yards for Carroll. Passing yards, 236 for the Blue Jays, 230 of them from Orlando Hernandez. I have to check after the game. That could be a career high, and we're only through one half of football here today. Hernandez, one heck of a first half. We'll see if the defenses shore up a bit here in the second half. On the opposing side, Kyle Burlingame, 190 yards and 3 scores, and he completed 10 out of 13 passes. Both teams have had 60-plus yard touchdowns in this one. Carroll will receive the second half kickoff here in just a moment. Parker Zitsky back deep. Partenheimer lays into one from left to right, and it's going to be into the end zone for a touchback. Tyler Enright took that one, and now the Carroll Pioneers offense will set up from their own 25. Some scores from around the conference. There are a couple of finals. North Central defeats North Park 35-14. Rudder, the quarterback for North Central, goes 30 for 36 for 358 yards and 5 touchdowns and 1 interception. Ulmer goes 11 catches, 130 yards, and O'Shane Brown 12 carries, 60 yards to lead the North Park offense to a victory over North Park. Illinois Wesleyan absolutely throttling Augustana right now. 6 minutes, 25 seconds to go in the fourth quarter, 42-6, Illinois Wesleyan leading Augustana. As play action to start off this second half. Throw to the far side, incomplete. Carroll looking for a flag, but they're not going to get it here. Coverage on the far side looked like Sean Weatherall. For Illinois Wesleyan today, how about Maurice Shoemaker-Gilmore? 26 carries, 212 yards. 8.2 yards per carry, 1 touchdown, while Brandon Bauer passed 3 touchdowns, 10 for 20 for 116 yards. It didn't matter when you have Maurice Shoemaker-Gilmore on your side. Here's a nice run on the near side, as lowering his shoulder caught past the 40 for a Carroll first down. Illinois Wesleyan has used 3 different quarterbacks, today. But when you have Maurice Shoemaker-Gilmore, 26 carries, 212 yards, I don't think it matters. And then in the game we're watching right now, it's Wheaton 21, Milliken 19. Here's a throw to the near side, caught. Burlingame pass complete. 3 Blue Jays in on the stop of Erkey.
Osmond with the tackle.
Wheaton currently has the ball in that game, 3:20 to go. Bowers touchdown, 23-yard pass to put Wheaton up now 27-19 with the extra point. That should do it there with only 3:14 to go. So Milliken giving Wheaton a little scare, even in Wheaton, as this is a screen pass to the far side. Nice job of evading the first tackle and gaining the first down from number 7, Zitsky on the far side, who already has a touchdown catch today, but that was a nice job of escaping the initial attack of Bolus, who eventually brought him down, but not after. Carroll's able to gain a first down and set up 1st and 10 in Blue Jay territory at the Elmhurst 46. The theme of that first half, obviously offense, but when you look at the teams, you wouldn't have expected this game perhaps to be this high scoring. Elmhurst averaging just 20 points per game. They have 31. Elmhurst defense allowing just 15.4 yards per game. Here's another solid hole on the left side for Koth. Brian Tucker, number 51, in on the stop. 2 minutes into the third quarter here. 31-21 Blue Jays. Elmhurst defense looking for a big stop. They haven't been able to slow down this Carroll offense to this point. Just one punt. Run to the far side. Ooh, he ran right into his own man. I guess you can give Perot Charles the tackle, but Koth ran right into big number 80, Payarski. Koth was a little shaken up. He came up a little slowly on that play, and he's slowly walking off to the sideline. Ooh, for Carroll, you really hope that he's okay. Koth had a very good first half. The best rushing in terms of that anyway. 10 carries, 54 yards for Koth to this point. As Elmhurst now has a third down, chance to get off the field here for the Blue Jay defense. And the snap goes over his head. Ball's on the ground, picked up by the Blue Jays. Fumble recovery for the Blue Jays. Jackson Smith, number 91, the defensive end, came in unblocked on the right side, and he's able to pick up the ball as Burlingame, the snap goes right off the tip of his fingers. Elmhurst with a big turnover there. And Elmhurst sets up 1st and 10 from the Carroll 48. Good field position for the Blue Jay offense on their first drive of the second half. Hernandez, hands off, right side. That's Bethke, and he has some running room. Running through tackles, past the 30. The freshman, Brock Bethke from Jenison, Michigan, getting some carries here, and that time, 2 hands on the football, just running straight north-south. And I think that's what the coaching staff loves to see in him, protecting the football and just running straight up the field. Big gainer for Elmhurst and a 1st and 10 at the Carroll 30 after a gain of 18 from Bethke. He'll get it again, right side, brought down from behind. Peter Mingus, number 92, the senior from Mantinawac, in on the stop. Coming in from the far side and just grabbing the legs and not letting go. Elmhurst coming in 3-2, 2-1 in the conference, while Carroll sits at 0-4 and 0-2 in the conference. Hernandez again hands off right side. Bethke runs right into a slew of white jerseys, but falls forward anyway for a couple. Up to the 23-yard line, maybe call it 23-24. Set up now 3rd down and a long 2 for the Blue Jays here, as Brockman checks in at tight end. Kalen Miller split wide right all by himself. Brockman is in the slot left side. Watch him. big, tall target for Hernandez. Brewer to the left, now the right of the quarterback. And I think they just ran out of time. Their play clock is at 0. Delay of game. That is a really tough penalty to take if you're the Blue Jays here. You have 3rd and a long, too. Now it ends up being 3rd and long, and that potentially kicks you out of field goal range, too. Pushes them all the way back. To the Carroll 28-yard line. This is probably out of Bailey's range. It would be a 46-yarder. Perhaps you get it to 40 with the wind blowing with him. Maybe you take a chance at it. Hernandez takes the snap on 3rd and 8. Looks near side. Caught by Brockman, but short of the line to gain. It's going to be really close. Far side referee is throwing it forward. It's going to be a first down for the Blue Jays. Right at the line to gain at the 20. I thought he was short, but he ended up stretching the ball out in front of the line to gain. Elmhurst with a first down at the Carroll 20. And another red zone trip for the Blue Jays. Again, 4 receivers. Brockman to the left, who made that last catch. Hernandez looks towards Miller. It's the pump and go. Miller towards the end zone. Ooh, almost intercepted, almost caught. Keenau Austin did not bite on the fake by Miller. He was in good coverage as Hernandez got absolutely drilled when he threw that football. Didn't see who applied the pressure there, but there was some serious pressure applied on Hernandez. Now set up 2nd down and 10 as they take the shot to the end zone on 1st down. Hand off Brewer right up the middle, evading one tackler, just chugging his legs forward for a couple. Makes it to the 15, a gain of 5. Set up 3rd down and 5 from the 15. Elmhurst leading 31-21 here. First of our homecoming triple header here on Blue Jay TV. After the football game, it'll be the men's soccer team taking on Illinois Wesleyan, and then the women's soccer team taking on the Titans as well in our nightcap. Hernandez looks right, opts to run straight up the middle, and it looks like he's got a first down, spinning towards the inside the 5-yard line to the 5. 1st and goal for Elmhurst, another designed run for Hernandez that works to perfection. Hernandez currently the leader in rushing on this Elmhurst team today. 6 carries for 70 yards so far for the Elmhurst quarterback. And Elmhurst has already surpassed 400 total yards. That's over 100 yards of what they average. They average 281 yards per game. And Elmhurst already has over 400 yards of total offense today. Brockman, the wide receiver on the near side. Big target, usually red zone threat. They pump it that way. Hernandez opting to throw, dancing to the left side, trying to plunge for the end zone. Not quite there. He'll get down to the 2. Hernandez just dancing there, trying to evade the 2 defensive linemen, and he did. Molise and Evans were right there, ready to bring him down, but Hernandez pulled a couple of moves, able to get around, evade the loss, and gain a couple down to the 2, 2nd and goal. Hernandez now 83 rushing yards on 8 carries. That's 10.4 yards per carry for Orlando Hernandez. Hernandez sends Brockman in motion to the left. Brewer the back. He hands off. Brewer left side towards the end zone. Touchdown, Blue Jays. Connor Brewer, 2nd rushing touchdown of the day. Elmhurst leads 37-21, pending the extra point. Brewer, good job bouncing off a couple of tackles and making his way to the end zone. He now has 8 carries, 46 yards, and a pair of scores.
Bailey to attempt the extra point. Finucane with the hold.
Bailey's extra point is good. 38-21 Elmhurst. A long drive there for the Blue Jays. 9 plays, 52 yards in over 5 minutes. As Elmhurst takes it to the end zone yet again, their 5th touchdown of the day, 38-21. Elmhurst on top here at homecoming against the Carroll Pioneers. Wheaton has scored again, and they are currently taking knees to end the game. So Wheaton ends up a winner against Milliken, 35-19. Illinois Wesleyan now a final down in Bloomington, 42-6 is the final score there. So we can check in at the CCIW standings as they sit right now. Wheaton now a perfect 6-0 on the year, and now 4-0 in the conference. North Central 5-0 and 4-0 in the conference. Carthage off this week. They come here to face Elmhurst next week as Partenheimer boots one angling to the near side. It's dropped initially right at the 8-yard line, but picked up, spinning away from a tackle at the 20 and then shoved out of bounds. The return man Enright. Bolus ends up with the stop. It looked like there was a chance right there to take him down before the 20, but spinning away from the tackle and making his way up towards the 30-yard line was Enright. Elmhurst 3-2, 2-1 in the conference right now. Carthage 4-1 and 2-1. Milliken with the loss today drops to 2-3 and 1-2 in the conference. Illinois Wesleyan now even 2-2 in the conference, 3-2 overall. Augustana with the loss, 1-3 in the conference, 2-4 overall. Carroll still 0-4, 0-2 in the conference. North Park with the loss drops to 0-4 in conference play and 1-5 overall. CCIW standings as here's a sweep to the far side, bottled up by Andy Warson. Warson with a big tackle all by himself. Morrison shedding his block. It was Chaz Lewis who took the handoff on the sweep. Warson had it bottled up right away for a loss. Going to be no gain actually on the play. Warson, 54 tackles, leads the Blue Jay team as this one is a handoff to Lewis right side. We haven't seen Koth as there's another gain of a couple that time for Lewis. I wonder if Koth is unavailable. We haven't seen him in the lineup, and now here he comes. Excuse me on that as Koth does come back to check in after he was a little shaken up on one of the last plays of Carroll's last drive before the fumble. Another third down for Elmhurst. Both teams have been good on third down so far today. 4 of 6 Carroll on third down so far in the game. Rolling to the near side, firing for a strike to Zitsky is Burlingame. That was really good feel of the pocket there by Burlingame. Let's check it out. Look at, he feels the pressure coming from the right, so he steps up into the pocket to the left, and then his momentum heading towards the left, right towards Zitsky, where he fires a strike into his receiver, and it's a first down for Carroll. Quick screen, Zitsky far side, trying to get the corner. He does, down towards the 50, and he'll be chased out of bounds right past midfield at the Elmhurst 49. Or, well, I guess we'll say a little before the 50. It'll be at the Carroll 48.
Charles and Warson were there for the Blue Jays.
Perot Charles, Andy Warson over there. Charles the Rover. Forced fumble and a fumble recovery so far this year for Charles, the senior from Loma Linda, California. Very experienced Elmhurst defense looking to step up here in the second half as Burlingame hands off to Koth, straight up the middle, nowhere to go. Brought down by Eddie Byer. Nose guard. Byer right away able to stuff Koth for not a whole lot of gain. And the Elmhurst defense will set up for another third down. This time 3rd and a long 4. Elmhurst jumps, but it was a hard count, able to get back on side here. Not enough to get into the neutral zone. Burlingame checks at the line, so does the Elmhurst defense. Burlingame, low snap, handles it well, runs right back up the middle. He's got so much room up the middle. Plunges towards the 40, down at the 42-yard line. Burlingame pulled it down right away, saw the ability to gain the first down, and then dove head first. And he gains a first down. 10 yards for Burlingame on the ground there. Carroll converts yet another third down. They are now 6 of 8, matching the Blue Jays on third down today. Burlingame back to throw, looks and a little behind his intended target.
Intended for Fintel.
Jared Fintel, the tight end, was the intended target, just a little behind him. As you saw there on the replay, Bolus was right there with the hit in case that ball was caught. Second down and 10 for the Pioneers from the Elmhurst 42. And it looks like we're going to have a false start penalty on the right side of the line. I think that was Cameron Hayes.
Offense number 6.
Cameron Hayes, the 6'2", 246-pound freshman from New Berlin, Wisconsin. Called for the false start penalty, which will set up now 2nd and 15. Good chance for the Blue Jays to get off the field if they can limit Carroll here on the second down opportunity. Blue Jays showing blitz. They bring it from the right side. It's a screen play, and it's bottled up nicely. That was a similar blitz that they brought when Koth went for his long screen on the touchdown. See that from the left side of the defense, but Andy Warson read the screen well, hung out with Koth on the screen play. And now it's 3rd and 15. Last time, 3rd and long, the Blue Jays brought pressure and Carroll scored on that same screenplay. Right now, Elmhurst not showing pressure. Now they show it from the near side. Warson and DeToli showing blitz. They back off. They'll rush forward. DeToli back up the middle. Burlingame in some trouble. Runs into his own lineman. Now trying to run for the first down. Not even close. He gains the 5 yards from the false start. And that'll be down for a gain of about 4. And Carroll will be forced to punt here.
That was Charles with the tackle for the Blue Jays.
Austin Harder into punt.
That is Harder back to punt.
Harder boots one left-footed, spinning. This one should bounce. Gotta watch out for it. Gaines picks it up and inside the 10, and he is dropped back. And that's going to be, I don't know about that from Gaines trying to field that one. If you do field it, just go down right away. Instead, it'll be Elmhurst starting from their own 2-yard line. Gaines trying to make a play there, and instead he just keeps getting driven back. And it looks like they'll actually spot it at about the 4-yard line. Remember, the last time Elmhurst was pinned inside the 5, they went 99 yards on a touchdown drive. That was a 16-play, 99-yard drive that lasted 9 minutes and 27 seconds, and it put Elmhurst up 21-7 at the latter portions of that first quarter. You tell how much scoring we had early because that drive lasted 9 minutes, and yet we still had 28 points on the board. First play from scrimmage was a 65-yard touchdown for the Blue Jays as Hernandez evades one tackler, now running to the left behind his offensive lineman. Walsh leading the charge to the left, trying to lay down a block. Hernandez just grabbed Walsh's shirt and said, "Keep running, Pat," and try to cling on to him to continue for some more yards. Hernandez gives the Blue Jays some breathing room and a first down. Elmhurst up by 17 here with under 2 minutes to play third quarter, 38-21. Brewer on the handoff left side, nothing doing. Look like Luke Everts, Ethan Molise in there. Trevor Howard around the air play as well. Clock continues to run. Elmhurst second down and 8 from their own 18. Hernandez sets up with 2 receivers near side and then the tight end Brockman. As Hernandez runs a designed keeper to the right, spinning away from a couple of tackles, lunging ahead to gain just a couple. Third and manageable coming up for the Blue Jays, who have been stellar on third down so far today. They're 6 of 8. One of those third down conversions, they actually took a shot on third down and converted on fourth down, so I guess really you could say 7 of 8 when it comes to converting in third down situations. This one, 3rd and 4. One of the last plays of the quarter. Hernandez looks towards Kalen Miller, now left side, caught by Brockman, has the first down, cuts back to the inside. Big wide receiver, rumbling for some more. Past the 35. Brockman, what an offensive weapon he is. Just a huge target for Hernandez to throw to. Probably the biggest receiver Elmhurst has had in some time. Brockman, 6'4", 215, makes the catch, gets the first down, and that will be the end of the third quarter. Blue Jays 38, Carroll 21. Elmhurst on top at homecoming. We'll be back with the fourth in just a bit on Blue Jay TV. First play of the fourth quarter will be a 1st and 10 for the Blue Jays. Hernandez looking to take a shot. Down the middle of the field, Partenheimer tied up. No flag. Oh, wow, tied up in the middle, some hand fighting, and Corey Partenheimer pleading with the back judge for a call here. Look at that right. Ooh, I don't know about that one. Aaron Muschel in coverage. It looked pretty rough from up here. But it's going to be 2nd down and 10. Blue Jays opt to take a shot to start the fourth quarter. Another touchdown will give Elmhurst their season high in points. Currently sitting at 42, the win against North Park. Straight up the middle on a design draw. Hernandez with some running room, with some more running room. Past midfield. Down all the way inside the 40. And look at the blockers go upfield. Great hustle there by Pat Walsh, matching Hernandez stride for stride. And we have a injured player now for the Pioneers. Training staff will come out. That was a heck of a run by Hernandez, but it's set up by those blockers getting out in front of the play. Pat Walsh, we've seen him a couple of times run with Hernandez down the field as a lead blocker. Still trying to figure out who that is on. I think it's Cameron Casaro down on the field right now. That is my guess, number 42 for Carroll, the free safety. 5'9", 180-pound sophomore from Caledonia, Illinois. One of the balloons from homecoming flies away. And it is Casaro who walks off the field under his own power. That's always great to see. Homecoming at Elmhurst, always such a special time. Lots of alumni in attendance. The Alexander parking lot just filled to capacity with tailgaters and always great festivities. And today we get a triple header of sports, which makes it even better. Clock running, Hernandez. Play action, looking right. Throws across the field, caught by Miller. Dangerous throw back over the middle of the field against his body, caught by the playmaker, Caitlin Miller. And a first down for the Blue Jays, down to the Carroll 25. There is a flag on the play. We're back in the area of offensive holding, and it looks like this one's coming back. Mike Cunningham will give us the call. At least I thought he would. Be holding on the Blue Jays, which will, looks like, well, might have been able to see it there. But either way, we'll call it a hold. And Elmhurst now back behind the chains. This one a little high and wide of Gaines. And we have a late flag now, the other way. Jordan Alonso came in and hit Hernandez. So Alonso's going to be called for a late hit, and he'll head out, and Elmhurst is going to get the yardage back and a first down. First and 10 for the Blue Jays from the Carroll 33, and the two penalties essentially negate each other. Included with the gain, of course. Miller one-on-one on the far side. Handoff is to Brewer, straight up the middle. Leaning ahead for a couple extra, past the 30. Down to the 27. And that's what Elmhurst wants to do here, run the ball straight ahead. Currently at 226 rushing yards, 260 passing yards, a total. They're approaching 500 total yards, which is almost double what they average on the season, 281. "13 minutes ago, fourth quarter, Blue Jays by 17. Hernandez looks to throw, has Miller open far side, instead Brockman wide open. The big wide receiver rumbles down to the 20, inside the 20, down to the 18. And another catch for Matt Brockman, who really has impressed in the two times we've seen him here. Brockman, 2 touchdowns in the game against North Park, but really he was bottled up the last couple of games, and now today, 4 catches, again, matching his total on the season. Had 4 catches for 48 yards coming in. Now 4 catches for 44 and a touchdown today. Great safety valve for Orlando Hernandez, that big target for the sophomore quarterback. Still really learning to throw the football effectively. He has done a great job today, though. He runs it to the left, and not a whole lot doing. Can't get the corner. Ends up going out of bounds. Millie Kryzik in on the stop, pushing him out.
Kryzik was there first for Carroll.
Blue Jays looking to improve to 4-2 overall, 3-1 in the conference. Big matchup against Carthage at home next Saturday here on Blue Jay TV. Still ways to go in this one, though, as once again Hernandez finds Brockman, cuts back to the inside, sidesteps a tackle inside the 5, spun down inside the 5-yard line. 1st and goal, Blue Jays. If Elmhurst can get into the end zone, it'll be a season high in points. And would have been both of the times they've played at home this year, they would have scored 40-plus points if they can get into the end zone here. 38-21, Elmhurst on top. Now clock running towards 11 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. Hernandez will go under center for the first time today. Hands off to Brewer, right side, looking for his 3rd score of the game. Did he get it? Just short. 2nd and goal from the half-yard line coming up. It was Brewer right side who almost got in. Positive sign of that as the clock continues to run. Jumbo set in for the Blue Jays. 2 receivers, 2 tight ends. Hernandez under center, Brewer behind him. Hernandez plunges forward. Did he get it? Touchdown, Blue Jays. Near side official signals for the touchdown, Elmhurst. Their highest point total of the season, 44-21, pending the extra point. Officials held us in suspense for some time there, but eventually near side signals touchdown. Hernandez plunges his way in for a rushing score. His 1st rushing touchdown of the season. And Hernandez now with 124 yards on 12 carries. Bailey for the extra point.
Kick is in the air.
Very smooth. 45-21 Elmhurst. 10:23 to go, 4th quarter. Elmhurst defense so far in this half pitching a shutout. And the Blue Jays have continued to pile on the offense. Elmhurst has officially reached 500 yards, 519 on 58 plays for a cool 9 yards per play. 281 through the air. 275 of those yards coming from Orlando Hernandez, and what I can only imagine is a career high. 238 yards on the ground as well, and even without Jim Robley, who is missing today's game with an injury. You've seen guys like Beth Key, who we haven't seen all season long, step up here for Elmhurst. 5 carries, 34 yards, 6.8 per carry, and a long of 22. Connor Brewer has seen a lot more time in the backfield. 11 carries, 56 yards, and 2 scores. 2 short yardage touchdowns for Brewer. And of course, Orlando Hernandez, who has picked up some of that rushing load, was left as this one sent in the air deep by Partenheimer all the way into the end zone. Another touchback for Partenheimer. The Elmhurst defense back out on the field, so far shutting out the Carroll Pioneers through the first 20 minutes of the second half. The key really has been time of possession. Elmhurst has dominated time of possession here in this half, and they also led by a bunch going into the half as well. Right now, 22 minutes and 37 seconds of possession to 20 minutes for Carroll. This Elmhurst team averages almost 34 minutes of possession per game. That leads the conference. Burlingame takes the snap, quick screen to Koth, incomplete.
This is incomplete, intended for Koth.
Trying to just slip Koth out here, get some blocks. He may have had the corner. Bolis shedded the block of Erke, but still would have been a chance for Koth to at least try to turn the corner. Instead, passed a little bit wide, 2nd and 10 coming up. 45 points for the Blue Jays. Most they've scored since that triple overtime game against Carthage a couple of years ago. Burlingame in trouble, escapes a sack from
Burlingame brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
From Miles Carroll, who had the pressure initially and then eventually brought down on the far side by Brian Tucker. Tucker gets the sack after Carroll just misses. Tucker's first sack of the season. Now 2.5 tackles for loss for him as Bro Charles checks out here for play. 3rd down and 12 for Carroll. Koth behind Burlingame, 3 receivers. They send a blitz. Burlingame back to throw. One-on-one coverage, far side. Erke wide open, makes the catch. Erke trying to evade Hausman, who spins him down beyond midfield. And again, the blitz doesn't quite get there in time, and one-on-one coverage. Carroll defeats the Blue Jays down the field. Erke makes the catch. 6'2" senior from Deerfield, Wisconsin. Another nice throw that time by Burlingame, who really has had a good game under center. Throw to the far side, big hit, but the pass complete.
With the catch.
Ziskowski, the wide receiver, a senior, makes the catch on the far side. Down to the Elmhurst 22-yard line. Carroll driving quickly here, under 9 minutes to play. Blue Jays leading 45-21. Faking the quick screen, throwing to the far side. Erke wide open, sidesteps a tackle, goes into the end zone for a touchdown. Another touchdown for Burlingame, this time to Brandon Erke, who was wide open. That's another Elmhurst lapse defensively. Erke, with all sorts of space around him, made the throw easy for Burlingame, and it's another Carroll touchdown. 45-27 with the extra point to come.
Plan to attempt the extra point.
Extra point is up, and it is good. 45-28. Elmhurst on top here at homecoming. Carroll gets their first points on the board of the second half. Elmhurst now with almost 30 minutes of possession already. Still 8 minutes to go in the game. 21-39 time of possession so far for Carroll. That's a big scoring drive for them offensively, and a real good drive from Burlingame, who had a couple of nice completions to Brandon Erke, including the touchdown. I've been impressed with Burlingame, the left-handed thrower, the senior from Waukesha, who has shown, I think, even a little better than his stats would indicate. Only 595 total passing yards coming into today's game, but already today he has been all over the stat sheet. Passing for almost 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, 17 for 24. Been a career game for Burlingame, but the offense for Elmhurst has just been too much to handle for Carroll so far. 45 points on the board, the most since that win against Carthage. I think that was 2013. Triple overtime on the road in Kenosha.
Glenn's kick in the air.
Kick away, and it's going to skip right to the 1 yard line where it's picked up by Burgo, who is brought down inside the 10. As Elmhurst was ready for the onside kick, they only sent Burgo back. Elmhurst, deep in their own territory, will start this drive 1st and 10 inside their own 10, leading by 17 right now against Carroll. Next up for the Pioneers is a home game against Illinois Wesleyan. Blue Jays stay home. They'll face Carthage. What will be their second to last home game of the season. So if you haven't gotten out to see the Blue Jays, that might be the time. Next home game won't be till November, as it's Zach Campbell in the game for Elmhurst, plunging towards the 10, brought down at the 9, gain of 2. Set up 2nd and 8, so no Hernandez right now. Hernandez helmet off on the sideline, but doesn't seem to be injured in any way, so it looks like Elmhurst is just going to go with the senior and Campbell here. He has started games for the Blue Jays in the past. There are 4 quarterbacks on this Elmhurst roster who have started games for Elmhurst. All 4 started last year. Logan Stelsreedy, Drew Domino, other ones. Handoff, left side, brought down quickly. Trevor Howard, Peter Kunish in on the stop. Now 3rd down coming up. 7.5 minutes to go. Elmhurst leading by 17. The way that Carroll has passed the ball offensively today, this game's certainly far from over. Passing offense for Carroll has been the most effective. Campbell with lots of time on the play clock, 7. Takes the snap, opts to run, looking right, plunging ahead, dives for the 1st down. Well beyond the marker, all the way to the 21. 1st down for Campbell. Couple of good blocks right in the middle of that offensive line to set up the hole for Campbell. A big 1st down for the Blue Jays means more time run off that clock. Elmhurst has now surpassed the 30-minute mark in time of possession, heading towards their average of 33 minutes and 42 seconds per game. That's been a key for the Blue Jays. Possession offense and solid defense. Today, the defense certainly not the best game, but the offense has been lights out. This one running to the right.
Ivers, the ball carrier.
Up to the 22, gain of 1 will set up 2nd and 9. Campbell this season had his first pass attempt of the year. He completed it to Brockman earlier in this game. Saw him as a Wildcat type quarterback in the 42-10 win over North Park. He's been that kind of change of pace guy. He's going to run this on a design keeper to the left side, spinning off a tackle, eventually brought down by a slew of white jerseys. Past the line to gain, 1st down for the Blue Jays, down to the Elmhurst 33-yard line. Campbell evaded that one diving tackle attempt, and that's how he was able to pick up the 1st down. Elmhurst can snap this ball with about 5:15 to go in the game. And off inside, lots of room. Look out up the middle. Taken down. Chris Ivers, the junior from Crystal Lake, the ball carrier. Big hole made by the Blue Jay offensive line into the secondary and into plus territory. 5 minutes to go. Elmhurst sitting pretty with a 17-point lead. Hand off quickly to the near side, bottled up right away.
Booker, the ball carrier.
Nate Booker, the running back, the ball carrier. And Elmhurst continuing to shuffle in new players, new on offense. Letting some of the starters sit here late in the game. Blue Jays host Carthage next week before their bye. And they'll travel to Illinois Wesleyan. Final home game of the year, Senior Day, November 5th. There are going to be a lot of seniors on this defense to be honored as Campbell throws near side incomplete. Intended for Justin Ward.
Intended for Ward.
Campbell just overshot him by a touch. Elmhurst offense currently sitting at 580 total yards, the second most in Elmhurst College football history. 10 more yards will give them the record. Campbell runs left, and he's got some room down past the 25. One more first down will give Elmhurst the record. 4 minutes to go in the game. You got to imagine Elmhurst can get there. Third down coming up here. Right at the 24-yard line of Carroll. One more yard gives Elmhurst the record, and it's 4th down and 2. Elmhurst is going to go for it here. Instead of opting for the field goal, running to the right, Campbell, and he did not get the first down, didn't get back to the line. So that's a stop for the Carroll defense, and I think they're going to stop Elmhurst 1 yard short of the record. 589 yards of total offense for the Blue Jays today. School record 590 as they go for it on 4th and 2. Campbell can't quite get it. And it'll be Carroll first down and 10 from their own 24-yard line with 3:21 to go in the game. So Elmhurst, after this one, a huge game against Carthage next weekend. Carthage last year came here to Elmhurst and ran all over the Blue Jays at homecoming. Elmhurst will try to exact some revenge next week, try to keep themselves in the discussion for a CCIW championship. This one brought down by DeToli, catch made on the far side. Catch made by Koth, the running back. First down for Carroll. Clock ticking to about 3 minutes to go. Carthage has really revamped their program as of late. On the bottom feeders in the conference for a couple of years, but they have been very impressive recently. Last year, really a coming out party for them after being picked low in the conference. Catch made by Zitsky in the middle of the field. Past the 50, another first down for Carroll. Clock briefly stops as the chains are reset. Carroll hustling to the line. Clock now running. 2:45 to go in the game. Elmhurst leading by 17, 45-28. Be sure to check out later elmhurstbluejays.com for the recap and a check-in with head coach Ron Plans. We'll go down to talk to him right after today's game. Also coming up after this, homecoming soccer doubleheader as Burlingame runs straight ahead, gets pulled down by Miles Carroll. And that's going to be the first timeout. And Carroll will take a timeout here. It'll be both the men's and women's soccer teams in that order facing off against Illinois Wesleyan University. We'll have both of those for you here on BlueJayTV.com. Elmhurst and Illinois Wesleyan on the men's side. Really big game for the Elmhurst men after tying Augie, losing to Milliken, but then defeating North Central, sitting at 1-1-1 in the conference. Illinois Wesleyan, a huge game for the Elmhurst men. And then on the women's side, Illinois Wesleyan reached the Final Four last year, one of the better teams in the conference in the country. It'll be quite a test for the Elmhurst women's soccer team. Blue Jays getting ready to celebrate on homecoming. 2:20 to go. 17-point lead for Elmhurst, 45-28. But Carroll driving here. Taking chunk after chunk of yardage. Certainly won't be a storybook day for the Elmhurst defense, but the offense a coming out party all around. As Burlingame hits the man in the middle, still running for some more. Bounces off the tackle from Warson. Laganall makes the catch. Clock now running again after the stoppage for the first down marker as Zitsky, makes the catch. Huge hit on the far side by Tristan Bolus. And there's going to be a flag here. Let's see if they might give him an unsportsmanlike for that little extra at the end as he stood over him. They're really bearing down on that kind of call. If so, it would be the third unsportsmanlike call on the Blue Jays today.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct number 30. Penalty, automatic, first down.
$15-yard penalty will set up the Pioneers in the red zone as Bolus stood over the receiver Zitsky after that huge hit for maybe a split second, and that'll be called every time. The referee's really trying to bear down on that kind of call this year in the NCAA. 2 minutes to go. Ball placed at the 15. As over the middle, Burlingame incomplete. Looking for a flag. There it is. Looked like Hausman on the coverage on the far side receiver, trying to cut to the middle. Got there maybe just a little bit too soon. It'll be a pass interference. That'll go It'll go. It was actually Tyler Schwartz, and they're going to give it to Hausman. It was Tyler Hausman. It'll be half the distance to the goal. Couple of flags here on the Blue Jays late. Lots of penalties today. 14 total penalties. 8 for 79 for Carroll. 6 for 73 for the Blue Jays. They're going to put it all the way down to the 2-yard line here. Burlingame looks to throw right side. Here it is. Caught for a touchdown. Another touchdown for Erke, his second of the day. And with 1:45 to go, Elmhurst now leads by 11.
That was Erke with the
Still a
touchdown.
2-score game here. Surprised to see them going for 2 here. Because either way, it's going to be a 2-possession game. It's an 11-point game. They're going to try to go for 2 anyway. Because if you don't get it, then you need 2 touchdowns, as Burlingame has to throw it away.
Extra point attempt is no good. 1:45 left in the game. Elmhurst.
1:45, Elmhurst leading by 11, and Carroll will have to try an onside kick to try to get now 2 more touchdowns. Instead of, if they kicked the extra point, would have been a touchdown and a field goal. Elmhurst has scored on all but one of their possessions today. That was the fourth down that did not convert here late in the fourth quarter. But it took all the way until the fourth quarter for the Blue Jays to not get points out of a drive. Elmhurst will send one man deep, and they will get ready for the onside kick. .145 to go, 11-point lead for Elmhurst, 45-34. Glad to have you alongside. Elmhurst now has a chance. If they can get this ball, they do have a chance to try to break the offensive record. They need 1 yard to tie. Here's the onside kick, bottled up right in the middle, look like Connor Brewer. It is Connor Brewer who's able to cover it up. Elmhurst, Carroll does have 2 timeouts left, so the Blue Jays will have to run this out. Now another penalty flag on the play. Remember, we've already had 15 penalties for almost 200 total yards. Ron Plans coming out to talk with the referee today, Mike Cunningham, and let's see what he has to say. Another unsportsmanlike conduct. That is the 4th unsportsmanlike conduct penalty today on Elmhurst. This time it's Eric Hark, the wide receiver, playing on special teams. It'll back Elmhurst up. But at this point, 1 first down essentially ices the game. Elmhurst now 8 penalties for 102 yards, including 4 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. Here's a run up the middle, and that's going to break the record. School record for yards in a game made by that run. Carroll takes a timeout. That was a gain of 6. Call it 7. 595 yards of total offense for the Blue Jays today. Previous record, 590. 8.66 yards per play. An unbelievable day for the Blue Jays offensively today. Let's rattle through some of the offensive numbers individually for Elmhurst. Orlando Hernandez, 275 yards through the air, 124 yards on the ground. He is 1 yard shy of 400 total yards today. 1 touchdown. That's all on his own. 16 for 24, 275, and 3 touchdowns, no picks through the air. 12 carries, 124 yards, and a touchdown on the ground as they run it far side to the Blue Jays. Chris Ivers, no gain. Timeout Carroll, their third in a row, third of the half, so that'll be it. They cannot stop the clock again. 1 minute and 31 seconds to go. Other offensive contributors today in the passing game, Matt Brockman leads the team with 5 receptions, 57 yards, and a touchdown. Most yards, Corey Partenheimer, mostly because of his 65-yard touchdown on the first play from scrimmage. 2 catches, 74 yards, and a touchdown. Third touchdown reception to Austin McKellar, who has 2 for 37 and a score. Kalen Miller, 2 for 45. Justin Ward, 3 for 42. Rushing, Connor Brewer, 11 carries, 56 yards. Chris Ivers, 5 carries, 44 yards here late in the game. Zach Campbell, 6 carries, 43. Every Elmhurst rusher who has rushed at least 5 times is averaging at least 5 yards a carry. As here is Campbell, lots of running room, plunging forward for Elmhurst now, 600 yards of total offense. Over twice as many as they average on the season. They average 282 per game of total offense, and they now have 609 yards on 71 plays and over 35 minutes of possession.
Carey takes the Blue Jays to over 600 yards of total offense today, a new school record.
New school record. That first down will set up the Blue Jays in victory formation. 1 minute to go, clock ticking. Elmhurst and Hernandez will take a knee, and even with another knee, the Blue Jays still will hang over 600 yards. They'll need to take a knee one more time to end this game and send the fans home happy on homecoming. There it is, the knee taken. Blue Jays get the win. Final score 45-34. Wasn't a trademark day for the defense, to say the least. 34 yards allowed is the most on the season by 7. But at the same time, a coming out party for the Elmhurst offense as they put up a total of 607 yards of total offense, 8.32 yards per play, 326 on the ground, 281 via the air. Career high for Orlando Hernandez, 275 yards through the air, 16 of 24. 3 touchdowns, no interceptions for Hernandez. Partenheimer, 74 yards to lead the team in receiving yards, 1 touchdown. Matt Brockman, a team high 5 receptions for 57 yards and a touchdown. Hernandez finishes the game. Total offense, 399 yards of total offense as he rushes for 124, an average of 10.3 yards per carry, 1 touchdown. Connor Brewer, 2 touchdowns on the ground, 11 carries, 56 yards for him. Zach Campbell also 56 yards, but him on 7 carries as the second quarterback who played today. Individually for the Carroll University Pioneers today, I was really impressed by Kyle Burlingame, who went 22 of 29 for 336 yards and 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. He had himself a heck of a game. If it wasn't for the Elmhurst offense playing so well, you'd have to say that, well, he played very well, and he did. Unfortunately, he was outplayed by the Elmhurst offense today, and he did that against a defense who averages giving up just 15 points per game and averages allowing just 183 passing yards per game as Elmhurst gets the win. And here on homecoming, the Blue Jays absolutely dominant on offense. Maybe not a trademark day for the defense, but you know that sometimes those days will come, and that's where you need to be a full team, and you need that offense to play well. As rushing for Carroll, Koth goes 11 for 56. Burlingame 9 for 38. As the main rushing threats, Erke, a big game, 5 catches, 87 yards and 2 touchdowns. Also 1 touchdown for Enright, Koth, and Zitsky. Zitsky had 8 catches for 49 yards and a score. Enright 2 catches for 80 yards and a touchdown, including the 63-yarder that started off the game for Carroll in a fast way. Their second play from scrimmage was a touchdown. Elmhurst's first play from scrimmage was a 65-yard touchdown. And the Blue Jays now move to 4-2 on the year, 3-1 in the CCIW, and a huge matchup with Carthage coming up next week. Before we wrap things up and take it over to the Blue Jays running towards the victory bell as they win again here at home, 2-0 at home now on the season. They'll host Carthage next week here at Langhorse Field. Rushing yards, a huge disparity. Elmhurst 326 rushing yards today. Carroll 91. First downs 30 for the Blue Jays, 23 for Carroll. Passing yardage, Carroll has the advantage, 336 to 281. 607 yards of total offense, and there go the Blue Jays to ring the victory bell. 427 yards of total offense for Carroll. Elmhurst ran 20 more plays on offense than Carroll did and led the time of possession battle 36 minutes 46 seconds to 23 minutes and 14 seconds. A dominant performance by the Elmhurst offense, who went 9 of 12 on third down, 1 of 2 on 4th down, while Carroll went 7 of 10. Very good also on 3rd down. If there's something you can clean up on the Blue Jays side, it's got to be the penalties. 8 penalties for 101 yards today. Carroll had 8 penalties as well for 79. A lot of 15-yard penalties mixed up in there for the Blue Jays, including 4 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties. Of course, the defense will need to play a little better against Carthage next weekend, but the offense really showing that they can carry this load as well after the defense really carried the load for the first 5 weeks of the season. So Elmhurst moves to 4-2 on the season, 3-1 in the conference, while Carroll drops to 0-5 and 0-3 in conference play this season. And Elmhurst takes the victory. Our next broadcast of Elmhurst College football on Blue Jay TV will be next Saturday. We believe Mark Kruger on the call for that one, as the Blue Jays host the Carthage College Redmen in a key CCW showdown to see who will have a chance to propel themselves near the top of the conference. That'll be a battle of 2 teams in the top half of the conference next weekend here at home. Thank you for joining us for this broadcast on Blue Jay TV. I'd like to thank Dennis for all the great work he did today, Kevin Chuday for providing the stats, and everybody else who contributed to the broadcast today. I'm Luke Tanaka saying so long from Langhorse Field. Final score, the Blue Jays victorious on homecoming, 45-34.